What's up, everybody? Welcome to Half Baked. I'm Cade.
And I'm Danielle, and welcome to our True Crime Tuesdays. Today, we are going to be building a gingerbread house. We've got all of our assortment of little candies and everything sitting out here in front of us. Could not find a gingerbread house kit anywhere. The week of Christmas, Monday, everybody's out of gingerbread houses. So, we're using Pop-Tarts. We were like, we'll just make our own. So in today's true crime story, we're going to talk about why we built our gingerbread house is going to be Benjamin Atkins. He was a serial killer in the early 90s from Detroit, Michigan. All right, we're putting powdered sugar down on our right here. So we're going to make it look like a snowy yard. And then we're going to use our mini cupcakes for like trees around the house because we thought that would be really cute. So we're going to do that while we start talking about our story. So today's story, we're talking about Benjamin Atkins. He was known as the Woodward Corridor Killer. Benjamin Atkins killed 11 women between December of 1991 and August of 1992. Benjamin Atkins was born on August 26, 1968 in Detroit, Michigan. Unfortunately, his father abandoned the family right after he was born, and he was also abandoned by his mother at the age of 2. Throughout his childhood, he would be in and out of his mom's care, and other than that, he spent most of his time growing up in a boys' home where he was also the target of the other kids and staff as well at about 10 years old.
You cut that good.
Really? That's so crooked, but
It looks good.
whatever. At 10 years old, it was found that he was sexually assaulted by a caseworker as well. The people who were tormenting Atkins were physically and sexually assaulting him all throughout his time while he was at the boys' home, and it was the other children and staff as well.
While he was living with his mother, though, he would be forced to go to work with her, so he would just sit in the back seat and watch her turn tricks with other people. So eventually, as a kid, he developed a hatred for the people he was closest with and the people who were supposed to protect him.
Okay, we're gonna put the sides on our house real quick. I totally cut the roof on this super crooked, but whatever. Go ahead and put some icing on me, darling. I was gonna say, it might need a bit
I'll just completely fail.
more. No, it'll be okay.
Okay, great.
Yep, okay. I'm gonna put some on this one.
Wow, I'm good at icing.
You are. You're putting that on there really good. Okay, so now you're gonna put icing on those. Just be careful because they're standing up now. Maybe I should have had you put icing on. Oh, look at that. Look at you go.
I know. Look
Look
at that.
at you.
Professional icer over here.
Yeah. All right. So the base of our house is together. Look, I totally cut that down too far. Now our roof isn't gonna line up. I know, I accidentally knocked the corner off of that Pop-Tart, but it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to be fine. It's whatever cracks and crevices we end up with, we'll fill them in with icing or something. You know, just add more sugar to it.
Yeah.
No, like, don't go all the way down, no. So, both of Benjamin Atkins' parents had substance abuse problems, and he grew up and developed a hatred for prostitutes, probably because he was, forced to watch his mom turn tricks in the front seat of the car.
It's not working.
As most of his victims were prostitutes. Problems? That's better. That's fine.
I used to be good at this.
Oh, you're fine. It's because I cut you're doing it on the cut part. That's why. It didn't.
What if I just
use your finger?
Nope.
Our gingerbread house is gonna look kind of funny, but that's okay. We don't care. All of Benjamin Atkins' victims were found in abandoned buildings, abandoned motels, and it was said that he made a statement in his confession that said, quote, "It's not all women I hate, it's the prostitutes. This is what they want," end quote. Benjamin Atkins' jobs that he had before and during his serial killings. It's unclear as to what he did, but some people say that he worked as a pizza cook. Benjamin admitted to being a crack user, but the police didn't have any record of drug offenses against him. There was a woman that lived on the block that Atkins lived on, and she said that he would come and visit her sometimes, and she would describe him as a pleasant person. But other people say that they would talk to him, but he was different when he would use crack. When he was on crack, he would just become violent and mean, and he would actually start cursing women. Whereas when he wasn't using crack, he apparently was a nice person, I guess, according to sources.
In October of 1991, Atkins found and befriended a prostitute named Darlene Saunders. The two of them ventured off into one of the countless abandoned buildings to smoke crack, and what was supposed to be like a smoke session turned into Satanism. When the alcohol and the drugs hit Atkins' brain and went into his bloodstream, he morphed into a monster. The rage that he had when he was a child was becoming impossible to contain as an adult. No matter what victim, they always had his mother's face. Atkins attacked Saunders and proceeded to rape her and sodomize her. She luckily got away, but then he realized he made a mistake because now he could be identified.
2 months after Atkins' first attack, he struck again, and the body of Debbie Ann Friday was found strangled to death in Highland Park. A couple weeks later, the body of Bertha Jean Mason was found in an abandoned building, and she had also been strangled. Just weeks later, while demolishing a derelict building, workers came across the body of a prostitute, Patricia Cannon George. She had also been strangled to death. January 25th of 1992, the sodomized and strangled body of Vicky Truelove was found. Law enforcement knew they had a serial killer on their hands, and for whatever reason, they arrested Atkins and took him down to the station for interrogation. But because of the lack of evidence, and he stated he had nothing to do with it, he was later released. They had nothing to hold him.
On February 17th, 1992, Valerie Chalk and 2 others were found at the Monterey Motel in Highland Park. They were all found in different rooms, but they were tortured the same way Atkins tortured his other victims. Several weeks later, a body was found. Her name was Brenda Mitchell. She had gone missing when she went to the store with her 2 kids. Brenda Mitchell was found in an abandoned house, almost completely naked except for a scarf wrapping around her neck. A forensic examination determined she had taken a lethal dose of drugs before her death, so they initially said it was a drug overdose.
Days later, the body of Vicky Beasley Brown was found, and she was strangled just like the rest of his victims were. And then on June 15th, 92, the partially decomposed body of Joanne O'Rourke was discovered. Authorities put many resources into finding the man who was responsible for killing women at an alarming rate. He was classified as a serial killer just for the simple fact of that he killed so many women in such a short amount of time. A task force of investigators from Highland Park, Detroit, and the Michigan State Police, as well as the FBI, was assembled. Lucky for them, a woman was about to come forward and positively identify the killer.
Darlene Saunders went to the police and told them about how she survived the attacks on Benjamin Atkins, and he was arrested in August of 1992. Investigators questioned him, and he categorically denied that he had any part in those crimes. He claimed that he didn't have any involvement because he didn't like women because he was homosexual. After further interrogation, the police had shown him a psychological portrait of the killer, and it fit Atkins perfectly. According to investigators, Atkins had prolonged some of the killing. He let his victims revive from time to time before eventually killing them.
Don't put gun drops. You're gonna make it look gaudy.
No, I won't.
If you're gonna do that, put like the little ball.
Okay, I will.
Because it like, it'll like fit right there. You know what I mean? Not the big old fucking gumdrop. Okay. Whatever you're gonna do, just do it and we'll, yeah, see? No. I say make a path with the gumdrops. No, make a path. After hours of denial, homicide detective Sergeant Sanders asked for a shot at Atkins. Sanders said to Atkins, quote, "I have a son your age. You need to get this off your chest. Talk to me." End quote. Atkins broke down. While working through 5 cheeseburgers, he confessed to all of the murders, including one victim that he had hidden in a basement of a vacant garage. He described in detail the appearance of the victims and the clothes that they were wearing or weren't wearing, since most of them were found naked and strangled. He also indicated the whereabouts of victims 10 and 11, who at this point the police didn't know about yet. Atkins told investigators that he killed all 11 women to prevent them from pressing charges.
That's not good. After a 4-month trial, Atkins was found guilty and sentenced to 11 life terms. He brutally killed 11 women in a 9-month span. The FBI dubbed him as America's fastest serial killer because of the short amount of time he took to kill all of those women before he was apprehended.
What are you doing?
Oh, that one was worse.
We're leaving that in. Atkins' childhood trauma gave him a deep hatred for women, especially women who shared the same profession as his mother, which is the reason that most, if not all, of his victims were prostitutes, because he just ended up growing such a hatred and resentment towards them from watching and being with his mom while she was on the job when he was a kid. The crack and alcohol gave the cowardly man that Atkins was enough courage to try to eliminate as many prostitutes as possible in a short amount of time until he was caught. That was his goal. He was trying to just get rid of them, as many of them as he possibly could. During his trial, it was revealed that Atkins himself was raped when he was 10 years old by a caseworker. It was kind of relevant to his upbringing and how he ended up the way that he was. He just was kind of abused by everyone in his life. It pained Atkins that he never had a father to guide him while growing up. And it tore at his soul that his mother would subject him to the grotesque and dangerous situations that she did. His parents were the ones that were supposed to protect him. While they did not, he ended up growing up to be just like them. Oh, it's a heart. Aww. He turned into an animal who preyed on the vulnerable women in his life. And abuse was basically the one constant in his life, whether it was him being abused or, in the end, am dishing out the abuse. Atkins said to police about one of his victims, Juanita Harvey, quote, "I never really planned to kill her. After raping her, having sex with her, and hating her for being a woman, I had the desire to kill her for being a woman. I just wanted to hate her and cause her harm." End quote.
On September 17th, 1997, Benjamin Atkins died in a hospital prison from an HIV-related infection. He was 4 years into his 11 life terms, and he was only 29 years old. Michael Reynolds, who prosecuted Atkins, said, "While no one takes joy in another one's death, even those who committed such horrendous crimes, at least those who lost loved ones to the hands of Benjamin Atkins have the comfort of knowing that he will never be let out into society." End quote.
I think that's pretty good. What do you think?
For not
having a gingerbread house kit and just having to buy all the crap and make it ourselves. I think we did pretty dang good.
I do too.
We'll show you the finished product if you can see it here. We got a little gingerbread house with a yard and a walkway here. I don't know if you can see that very well. We'll probably take a picture of it and just post it at the end of the video, or put a picture video thing. I don't know what we'll do. We'll do something.
Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe, leave a like, comment if you want to, because I don't think it's on now. I hope you have a good day, good night, wherever you are. Don't forget that you are such a beautiful human being. And
We'll see you next week. Love you.